What is your opinion on how people react when they discover that they actually are carriers of an STD or an STI?
That's an interesting question. I don't think many people take it well, first of all, because you're living your life and then you start to notice the symptoms, or you just decide to go for a routine test and then you find out that, oh, you're infected with a bacterial infection or you have a viral infection. This changes a lot of people's perspective, to life. We've had people that, went into depression. We actually had to talk to them on multiple occasions, checking on them to know how they are doing, in order to bring them out of that mood. We've also seen people who threaten to unalive themselves once they found out that they are carriers of certain types of infections. You can't really blame these people though, because look at it, this is Nigeria. Many people are not so educated about infections. Many infections, people don't know what they are. Once you are talking to them and telling them, or asking them, what do you think you have? Staph. That's what you hear. They are not so exposed to some of this information, and the schools are not helping. Parents don't like to talk about sex. So many of those people, when they come in contact with an infection, they tend to just keep it in. I was on a phone call with a lady who reached out to us some days ago. She was in a relationship with someone and it appeared as though it wasn't moving forward. So she broke up with that person and went into a new relationship. After meeting this new partner, she discovered that she has been infected with herpes. She broke up with him and was minding her life. She said she became so depressed that she closed off herself away from relationships and all that. Here again, the other boyfriend whom she broke up with the first time comes back in and is like, I'm ready to marry you. Let us settle down. They are planning to get married as we speak, but she is sad. When a woman is planning to get married, she's dreaming about that day. She's fantasized about this day all her life. But instead of her to be in this lovely mood, she's sad. She doesn't know what to do. And the saddening part is that she doesn't even know how to tell him. And she doesn't know how he's going to take it. This is one of the worries for many people, because the society turns many of these people into pariahs, social pariahs. And even if that is not the case, when you come out and tell people that you're a carrier of an infection, there is a way they'll start to look at you. And even if they don't look at you in such a way, you will still feel that way yourself. So many people don't really take it well, and it is what it is.
Okay, so what do you think about stigma? Is it something that can be controlled? Stigma itself, can it be controlled?
No, I don't think you can control stigma. It is what it is. You are the one that can control the narrative yourself.
What would be your advice to anyone who just found out that they are carriers?
First of all, when you find out that you are a carrier of an infection, don't start looking for herbal medicine. The first thing to do is to go to Google on your phone. Check out to know what type of infection it is. Now, there are usually ranges of infection. For example, bacterial infections like gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, and stuff, this can have similar symptoms, but there are particular symptoms that you can't really find in other bacterial infection that would actually pinpoint to you that this is what you have. But even if you cannot do that, like going to Google, you could visit the laboratory, request for urinalysis, right? Request for blood culture test. And if it is like a growth in your private area, or reoccurring outbreaks, tingling sensation and all that are in your private area, then you may consider, if you're a woman, you may consider doing a pap smear test. And you could also test for herpes, So when you go to the laboratory, you would know what is wrong with you. Then after finding out, then you can go to the pharmacy, get certain medications for yourself. The mistake that many people make in this part of the world is that they tend to either self-medicate or start buying different herbal medicines. And a lot of times, the infection they have may not even be that serious. So you don't want to be in the guessing game when you find out that you have an infection. So the first thing to do is to get yourself tested. If you have a family doctor, talk to them. You can even go and see the gynecologist. You need to talk to a professional first before deciding to take anything.
So how would you encourage those who would complain about how expensive proper treatment for these infections are? How would you advise them? A lot of people cannot afford it. So what would you say to those kind of people?
You gotta do what you gotta do to get yourself out of this. So if you're complaining about the price of medication to help you to get well, how are you going to be able to hustle? How are you going to be able to enjoy the good things that you're meant to enjoy alive? You see, not wanting to take the right medication or the proper treatment has put a lot of people into troubles. Because, you're spending 2,000 naira to buy this. It didn't work. You spent 5,000 to buy this. You spent 10,000. On the long run, you've been taking different things. By the time you calculate the amount you spent, you might have even spent more than the amount that you would have used at once to treat yourself and get perfect at once. Because the longer an infection takes in your body, the more problem your body would begin to experience. Once an infection comes into your body is exposed. Your immune system is not working. So anything can come into your body. You are just like a lying duck for any kind of infection to come in. So you have to protect yourself. You have to prioritize your life. Nobody will do it for you. You can't say, because my family member took this, because my mom thinks this, because this person said it looks like this, then you now use that to judge yourself or judge your health. I always tell you guys this, that we all have different metabolic system. Even if we are from the same mother, even if we are twins, our metabolic systems will still operate differently a lot of times. So don't use another person's narrative to express your health. My advice is do whatever it takes at once to get rid of that infection.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about Clofton Global.
Here at Clofton Global Organics, what our dream has always been is to provide the ideal remedy for chronic recurring infections alone. And I would say that we are the ones that you should consider after you've tried every other thing. And because we work hand in hand with industry experts, nutritionists, we all sit down and say, how do we help this person to heal? How do we tailor our remedy to help this person? This is what we live for. So this is why Clofton Global stands out in everything. And we've also had cases of people that are like, I'm tired of taking bitter things. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. This is one of the reasons why Clofton Global is Clofton Global, because we make the process very easy, from the taste of our remedy to the food supplements that people enjoy. And of course, our food supplement is very much good and tasty and delicious and very nice for pregnant women, toddlers, middle-aged people, and even older adults. So we make sure that we are able to attend to you whatever way we can, so you could be free from that chronic recurring infection.